What's up everyone, welcome to today's video. Now, let's start today's video with a simple question. When you've upgraded your PC, what do you do with your old parts? Well, for me, I've kept quite a few of my parts and basically I've more or less got a system built. So before I start, if you want to see more of these videos, if you want to see more of my content, more of my gameplay videos, smash that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, but if you don't like it, hit that dislike button, but also leave a comment to why you didn't like it. It will obviously help me improve my content and hopefully I might earn some likes off you guys as well. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that I've recently upgraded I've gone from a Z87 motherboard all the way up to a Z170 motherboard. I've got the new Skylake CPU, I've got DDR4 RAM. I've done a big amount of upgrades the past few months. Now, what I've always done, for some strange reason, I've always boxed up my old parts and just shot them in the cupboard to collect dust. Which, you know, it's not great, it's not a good idea because they're parts that I could sell to fund future upgrades. And the longer they're in the cupboard, the more money they lose, more value they actually lose. So basically, I had a look in the cupboard. I had a few fans, I had a case, I had motherboard, CPU, DDR3 RAM for it, and one or two other pieces. So one day I shot them all together, seen what I got, seen what I need to buy to complete the system, and hopefully I might sell the system, make a couple of quid, and you know, it might pay for my next upgrade on my PC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera around a lot. I'm going to be talking, I'm going to be showing you what I've shot in this tower. So now I'm going to move the camera about and I'll get up close and I'll show you exactly what we've got. Okay, so this is the case that I've bought. It is a Zalman Z11 Plus. It's a case that I bought mainly for the looks. When I bought this, I was on the market for a cheap £60 case, an ATX size case that I wanted good looks, a little bit improved airflow from my original case many years ago, and I wanted an overall upgrade for the looks. So as you can see on the front of this, what I've shot on it is an Asus DVD rewriter and also a multi-card reader. So that's pretty much the front of it. Now on the top of the case, as you can see, it's got a really good vent for exhausting heat out the case. This looks really good. The little plastic fins are actually clear. They're a little bit frosted, shall I say, but basically if you put LED fans underneath here, these will light up and give a good appearance for the whole case. Okay, so for the rear of the case, as you can see, you've got your I/O plugs, you've got a single 120mm mounting for a fan, and as you can see, I've got a Corsair fan in this one, which is drawn as an intake, but I'll get more to the fans in a moment. You have these two lugs, which are, these are basically for when water cooling was on the exterior of the case. Never use them, so you know, water cooling's came a long way. And then underneath that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots for graphics cards, expansion cards, things like that. And then underneath there you have got your power supply opening. So now, as you can see, I've got all the used parts which I'm going to put into this system. I've got them all in place. So I've got the motherboard in, I've got the RAM, I've got the CPU cooler, but I'm going to finish off talking about the case first. Basically, what I had was I had quite a few Corsair LED fans from when I had LED fans on my main system, which I've recently replaced with Quiet Series non-LED ones. So basically on the back up here I've got 120mm red LED Corsair fan as an intake. I've got up top, I've got two Corsair, again 120mm LED fans as exhausts. But then down near the front, I don't know how difficult this is going to be to see, but you can just see it there. I've got a, just sort the focus out, there's a 140mm LED fan. All of these are red LEDs and they're pretty decent. They're about 6 months old, whereas the standard fans were just, well, they were blue LEDs, so they wouldn't have went with the actual motherboard that I've got, which is the Z87 Hero from Asus. So yeah, so I replaced all the fans, I added the two up top, and hopefully it's going to give better airflow, newer fans with less mileage on them, so they'll be a lot quieter, and we'll see how they go. Now, the main components I'm going to be putting into this system is, so far I've got, as you can see, a Z87 Asus Republic of Gamers Hero motherboard. Brilliant motherboard. It hasn't got the newer features, things like M.2 and DDR4 and things like that, but it does support a lot of overclocking, a lot of safeguards in it, and it's been a really good motherboard for me. It was my first proper attempt at overclocking, and yeah, it's been brilliant. So to go with the motherboard, I've put in my old 4670K, which, as you can tell by the stock Intel cooler, I'm not going to overclock this for the next user. I may put on a heatsink of some sort, maybe a better cooler, but with me not shipping this as an overclocked unit, that is more than capable to run the stock clocks. Now on the right hand side of that, you've got the 4 sticks. It's of DDR3 RAM, and they are clocked at 2333 megahertz, which I will activate that through XMP, and there's 16 gigabytes, so there's 4 gigabytes per stick, 4 sticks, 16 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. So it's still a pretty powerful system. Obviously you've got the quad core. I think off the top of my head it's about 3.5 gigahertz up to 3.8 in turbo speed for me to tell. So, but I did have this overclocked to 4.4 gigahertz, so it's a massive overclocking potential. It's not the fastest i5 Haswell chip out there, but it give you a good big jump up in performance. And just to top it off for right now, as you can see, just hiding there in the hard drive bay, I've put in a 1TB Samsung drive, which is obviously going to the SATA, connected to the SATA cables. Now, one thing I am waiting for on this case, and I'll just move the camera down slightly, on the top it has 2 USB 3.0 connectors, but when these connectors come into the case, you get the basic connectors. I'll just sort the focus out. Sort it out. Well done, James. So it's got the basic connectors, but obviously these cannot go into the motherboard. Now I am waiting for a splitter cable which goes from these and it goes down to the 20 pin on the motherboard. So hopefully the length of these are a good meter long. I'm gonna have to do some decent cable management, and that brings me on to another point of this system. This is going to be my first proper effort at cable management. So this is going to be my first proper effort at good quality cable management. So I need to buy a load of if you're in America you call them zip ties, but over here we call them cable ties. So yeah, so that's more or less the system as it stands now. Now another used part which I am going to put in, I'm gonna shot in one of my GTX 980 Strix graphics cards. Reason for that is, even though my graphics cards were bought like January, well my second one was bought January, I am really tempted to get a GTX 1080, simply for going down to a single card. It will give me the same performance as what I'm getting now, and it will lower temperatures a lot from the SLI that I've got currently. But as you can imagine, that's for a different video. So there you have it. That's just a quick run through of the used parts that I've got here. Obviously the motherboard, CPU, RAM, disk drive, multi-card reader, spare hard drive I had. Now what I'm going to do now is I need to order parts, I need to order a power supply. I'm going to be trying, obviously I'll stick with the makes I know, which is Corsair, and I'll try one of the budget ones. I think it's a CX model. I'm going to fit a solid state drive into this, so I'm going to see what's on offer on Amazon and places like that. And also my Strix graphics card, my second Strix graphics card that I'm going to put in this, is staying in my current system because it's so easy to put it in last thing when it's ready to go. So yeah, so hopefully when you see part 2 of this build, I'll have the power supply in, hopefully solid state drive will be here. Hopefully I'll get a lot of the cable management done, and hopefully I'll be installing the Windows 10 onto it. So yeah, like I say, I might change the stock cooler. I might see what I can get, say £20–25, see what's on offer. Obviously any upgrade is ideal compared to the standard Intel cooler. And yeah, and like I say, if I got a cooler there, I've got the 120mm rear fan as an intake, so that could maybe go straight into the cooler. I might do that actually. It seems like a bit of a, it's not necessary, but it's obviously making a good effort. Since I'm selling this on, I want to do a good job on it. So yeah, got a little bag in there, a lot of fittings for the case, spare. But like I say, the motherboard, processor and RAM, they've been absolutely solid for me, and I will miss this. You know, I started this channel using this motherboard and this processor, and as you can see, my screensavers came on, so there's loads of nice pictures of cars coming on. So before I say so again, I think I better end the video there. Now if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button, but leave me a comment to say why you didn't like it. And hopefully I'll be bringing you a lot more content on this case, on this build, sorry. So thank you for watching, and thank you for watching my shiny head. You know, it's the way I've got this computer room laid out. I'm really gonna have to decorate. You know, maybe get the camera here and get me sat over there. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.